A big welcome to today's video. Today I have a special video for you. In it, we will firstly cover how to allow grace to flow into your life and reveal the truth of things, reveal the truth of your identity. We're going to be covering a really powerful quote by a French philosopher, Simone Weil. It's going to show you how to become completely non-attached, completely empty. Next, we're going to cover how to remain consistent with your spiritual practice even when it is difficult, even when you feel like it is not creating any result or that you feel like you're not benefiting from it. We're going to talk about how to get through this phase, remaining consistent throughout, to eventually understand and have that breakthrough that you're looking for. And lastly, we're going to do a guided meditation, tying everything in together, to help you get a true experience of everything that we are discussing in this video. So I'm really excited to share it with you. I hope it brings you so much value. Here it goes. Enjoy. So the teaching says, even if our efforts of attention seem for years to be producing no result, one day a light that is in exact proportion to them will flood the soul. Again, one day, a light that is in exact proportion to them will flood the soul. All the natural movements of the soul are controlled by laws analogous to those of physical gravity. Grace is the only exception. Grace fills empty spaces, but it can only enter where there is a void to receive it. However, the imagination is continually at work, filling up all the fissures through which grace must pass. Again, it can only enter, so grace fills empty spaces, but it can only enter where there is a void to receive it. However, the imagination is continually at work, filling up all the fissures through which grace must pass. Just as the power of the sun is the only force in the natural universe that causes a plant to grow against gravity, so the grace of the divine is the only force in the spiritual universe that causes a person to grow against the gravity of their own ego. The grace of the divine is the only force in the spiritual universe that causes a person to grow against the gravity of their own ego. And grace only fills empty spaces. It can only enter where there is a void to receive it. The imagination, right, the psychological chatter, the constant thoughts of past and future, the constant descriptions, judgments, beliefs, this is all imagination. The ideas through which we filter reality, the ideas about what I am, what life is. This is imagination, nothing else. The imagination is continually at work, filling up all the fissures through which grace must pass. It is a state of pride, fullness, not fullness as in fulfillment, fullness as in a blockage, a contamination, an overflowing of ideas, concepts. So what is this teaching saying? How to create a void? Attention. Attention is the only teaching. Pure attention, which the same person who this teaching is by, there's another quote that goes along the lines of, pure attention is prayer. Pure attention, it is the teaching. Attention is that silence which creates the void through which grace must pass and cause the person to grow against the gravity of their own ego. Now, please don't mentally break apart this teaching. You know, the mind may say, "Oh, but I thought there was no person," and this and that. Of course, like, not our words don't always have to be compliant with non-dual jargon. Just take it simply, okay? You get what the message is saying. Don't create further barriers to the message. We must receive the message, have faith in the message if it resonates, and then practice and apply the message. Your job is to create this void that grace will inevitably fill. I actually cut this quote off a little early because I wanted to be focused on this part today. However, later on, it says something along the lines that even you trying to create this void is the work of grace. There is no other power here. However, in a very practical way, where you feel like I am the doer of my life, from here, you must do all you can to create this void within yourself, to create this space within yourself. The mind may take this space to be empty and devoid of everything you think is beautiful. It's not as stimulating as the imagination. However, only in this void will you discover everything that you have been seeking. The teaching shares with us that grace fills this void. This is the source. This void is the source of all that we see. It is the source of all intelligence. It is pure intelligence. It is pure potentiality. It is pure creativity, which you see in your experience expressed. But before it is expressed, it is in a state of pure potential, pure intelligence, pure love. Our work here is learning to get to the essence of all that we see and know. The essence of what we know is the unknowable, the unknown. For that understanding to sprout, we need to create space. When you come here and you are looking forward to sitting in meditation, or throughout your day, when you sit in meditation, what you are doing is you are creating space. You are creating a void, which during that day in your meditation, maybe nothing happens. The next day, nothing happens. The day after, nothing happens. The day after that, nothing happens. It is not about making something happen. It's about creating space, which, even if your mind fails to see, is being created as you sit for your practice. It is underneath the surface of the mind's perception. The mind judges if things are going well or not well, only based on experience. But the space is not an experience. It is that in which all experience comes and goes. That void, the recognition of it, and that space is already maturing, ripening, flowering, you see? So if this teaching, this message resonates with you, you must have faith in it. You must have trust in it. And you must persevere despite all obstacles. Let go of moaning, complaining, groaning at every step. We must have a firm resolve that this is what this lifetime is for me. It's not merely for sensual pleasures, for imagining this or that, chasing this or that. Even you, this desire, this devotion boiling up within you is grace itself. If you are blessed enough to be graced by this message, which we all are, if we are here right now, this teaching has touched us, then we must listen to that call. We must answer that call. Even if our efforts of attention seem for years to be producing no result, one day a light that is in exact proportion to them will flood the soul. When you make a destination out of this, when you start looking forward to that day as some sort of destination that you are getting to, you are once again only in imagination, and you become your own obstacle. You continue to fill that void with imagination, with unreality, with illusion. So let go of even the idea of progress. A genuine seeker must let go of even the idea, the notion of getting somewhere. We all love this notion of enlightenment and awakening, but at the same time, I also hate it because the idea of it is not it. Anything you can take it to be is just speculation. And that speculation will keep you full. That expectation will keep you full. It will keep you from allowing this void to flower. That expectation will itself become our greatest obstacle to understanding, to self-knowledge. There's there's a graph that you may have seen. Let me full screen this. This is the compound interest graph. You may have seen this if you are, if you've learned about investing or finance, or even I learned it when I was getting into entrepreneurship. So the principle is that there are very very minimal returns in the current day-to-day life. When you begin, you do a lot, but you gain very little for a long time, perhaps even. However, if you just consistently continue, so for example, if you just consistently continue to invest little by little, every month, every year, you just continue, it's just habit. Over time, the growth is not linear. You see, we think everything in life grows like this, you see, like a line just constantly flowing upwards. But that is not the case. The growth compounds. So even though there are minimal returns in the current day to day, over time they are exponential. Same thing I was taught in with entrepreneurship when I was just getting into it, that you have to work really hard, and you continue just working without constantly seeking a result, constantly judging how things are going. Just continue doing your best, continue bringing the most value, continue doing what you're passionate about, continue working day by day. And even for years, you may not be getting the result you want, but over time, it will be exponential. Just stay consistent. This is with everything in life, every single thing in life. It does not matter what it is. The reason I bring this up with our current topic is that it is the same way in meditation. And again, I don't like to get you to focus on meditation practice as a result driven process. But I just wanted to put a loose visual on it and how it looks, especially when you start, because when you start, you need all the motivation that you can get. So here it is. Always take what the things that I say lightly, like sometimes it's not a direct representation, but just a loose analogy that will motivate and help if that is appropriate for the current time. So when we start with meditation, you fail to see any result. You may see something here, and first of all, that when you start, that is when you're most looking for result, expecting results. As you continue going, you may still not experience much result. I remember when I began meditation, it took me about 7 months of consistent daily practice to really start to begin to understand how it was helping me. Until then, it just sort of like was almost like a relaxation practice, nothing else. And I was in it for the promise. And I wasn't even doing actual real meditation. I was just doing guided meditation to heal myself or get this outcome, But still, the power of silence is such that it keeps you a little enticed, but you fail to see any result because your perception is too dense. It is too worldly. You only know how to perceive things that are material. But as you continue to just stay consistent, you don't know this is happening, but your perception is already getting subtler. And your capacity to perceive the subtle is increasing. So you see, with meditation, there are no results in the beginning, no visible, tangible results. Yet the expectation is at the highest ever. As you continue, your seeking of results decreases, whereas the actual result or effects or differences is exponential. Meditation is the least linear thing you'll ever do in your life. And if anything, it doesn't even look like this. It would actually look more like this. It's a constant uh, hills and valleys, peaks and valleys. But I just wanted to put a little visual on this today, that because that goes with the quote that even for years, if your efforts of attention, which is meditation, right? If your efforts of attention seem to be producing no result, one day, uh, a power that is equal in proportion to them will flood the soul. Something like that, right? It said. So again, I urge you and I invite you to not look forward to that day, but rather continue to, because that is actually that is an obstacle to meditation. Whereas real meditation is free of imagination. It is pure attention, which is prayer. Prayer and meditation are the same thing. It is pure attention, being, knowledge of your being, non-conceptual, no notion, no concept, knowledge of your being, knowing of your being. This is the void which grace will fill. So, with that, let's proceed. Just like we always do, rather than remaining fixed on the words, we try to see what the words are pointing to. So, try to see here what the words pure attention are pointing to. You can't think your way into attention. Your attention is so intimate, so close to you. Bring your attention to attention itself. You're not asking, how do I do this? You're not asking, oh, am I doing this right? Don't fall for that. That is just once again your attention going on thoughts. You can't think your way into this. Let all thought go. The moment it arises, bring your attention, which is closer than the thought, back to itself. Isolate your attention. Don't occupy it with imagination. All thoughts about anything are imagination. Your attention is closer to you than thoughts. Isolate your attention. Don't ask how. Don't ask why. Don't ask, am I doing this right? Learn to let those thoughts go, and you'll yourself find yourself in the right place. Refuse to harbor any thoughts right now. Have no desire to think. Have no desire for descriptions. Let them go the moment they arise. Revel in the presence of your being. Be present to your being. Be present to life. Perhaps notice your addiction to imagination. Notice your addiction to concepts, to descriptions, to thoughts. There's nothing to do about it. The mere acknowledgement is all you can do. It's enough. The moment you acknowledge it, let it go and return to pure attention, pure presence. Refuse to touch the past or the future. The present you cannot touch with thought, for you are the present. Holding no notion of next or progress or journey. To reach your destination, you have to let go of the journey. The destination is now. The ticket for your train is learning to let go of imagination, letting go of thought. And the train is attention, presence. On the level of attention, you have nothing to heal. You have nothing to do. You have nothing to become. You have nothing to attain. Nothing to protect. In presence, in attention, you are neither young or old. You are neither man or woman. On the level of attention, all differences, all definitions begin to fade, begin to merge with their source. On the level of attention, you cease to be a person. Even desiring for something to happen in meditation is an obstacle. It is imagination. Be free of it. It will keep you a person. In pure attention, there's no notion of journey or destination, no notion of gain. Have courage to let go of everything you seek. Surrender everything you seek to your own attention, to this presence. Let this false notion of me and mine melt in presence. This conceptless realm, which is so close to you, despite if you're new to meditation or not, despite if you live a very simple life or a very busy life, this realm of no concepts, pure presence, being without no notion of what you're being, simply being. This is what you have to start exploring. This is really the only spiritual practice. There's a teaching by the same person whose quotes we covered before. She said, our only obstacle is our incapacity to feed on this light, this inner light, this presence. The reason for all your misery, confusion, doubt, suffering is, right, our incapacity to feed on this inner light. But as you feed on this inner light, as this inner light within you grows, as your recognition of this void, of this notionless, conceptless being grows, it will consume all the darkness within you. This is not a false promise. Put this to the test. Thank you for watching today's video. If you want to go deeper into this practice, consider scrolling down into the description of this video and you will see some resources linked over here, any of which that resonate with you will be of great help. So please check out all of these resources to further deepen your practice and stay consistent with it. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.